This is Jack Whitby, and I'm joined with Samantha Pankhurst, Daniel Pitts, Danny Catchbar, and Will Thacker. Thank you everyone for coming to my focus group on my film title. So I want to bring you all together to talk about my thriller film title and to see if you guys have any ideas on what you like about the title or how it can be improved. Having you all here will allow us to brainstorm new ideas and bounce off each other to create bigger and better ideas. Okay, so the film title, bear in mind, is Whispers of Yesterday. So the first person is, or the first question, sorry, is what do you think the title? Do you think the title will entice people to see the film? So Dan, do you want to start us off?
I think it would in the right sort of target audience because the actual title's quite intriguing because it sort of allures to what the story might be about, which I think may be a bit of a crime mystery sort of thriller because I believe it's a thriller genre.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
or
yes.
maybe more of a psychological one, but it doesn't give too much away. For example, like in the film Panic Room, you know it's going to take place in Panic Room, but then in film 7, you know it's going to take 7 days. But obviously there's a sort of sense of mystery in the film title 7, so I do think it's quite a clever and unique title.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Dan. Sam, do you have anything to bounce off of that?
I think the title's quite good and like it'll keep people guessing into what the film may actually be. So by doing it, it'll get like a wider range of generations maybe to actually watch it because it's different.
Oh, okay, so have a larger range of target audience maybe to try and incorporate to see in the film. Okay, so Danny, do you have anything to add on to? Do you think it will entice people to see the film Whispers of Yesterday?
Well, it's an interesting title, and I think it really gives that whole psychological thriller sort of thing, like Whispers Yesterday. It gives the whole. It really makes you wonder what the plot is in the film, really. And I think that's quite an interesting feature you put on there.
Okay. Okay, thank you guys for asking that question. So the next question is a bit more personal to you guys. So would you guys personally want to see the film from the title? So Sam, do you want to start things off?
Yeah, I would personally watch the film from the title. It's a different sort of title. You don't really hear it much, and it's just keeps you guessing. So you don't really like know what the film's going to completely be about. So yeah, personally, I would watch it.
Okay, thank you. Will?
Yeah, I would see the film too. I agree with Sam. I'm a big fan of thriller films and horror films, so yeah, be good.
Danny,
I've been quite a big fan of thrillers and horrors for a long time, and it's quite a cliffhanger sort of title. So yeah, I'd definitely go see it.
Dan?
Yeah, I think I would go see it, but I would like to see like a trailer or hear something more about it. I actually hear about the plot because I like to read into films before I go see them.
Okay, so what we've established from that is kind of all of you personally would feel that this is a good title to try and incorporate people to come and see the film, even though I haven't even got a trailer for it yet.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a good start. Okay, so do you guys feel that the title makes it sound like a serious thriller film, or do you think it sounds like a bit of a joke, Whispers of Yesterday? So Dan, you kick us off this time.
I think it does sound quite serious. I mean, when I first saw it, it made me think of like a Doctor Who sort of episode. But when you think about it like more in depth, it isn't quite as cheesy as that. It's actually quite a thought out, interesting title. So I think it's quite serious.
So you think that the title has grown on you?
Yes, definitely. Well, when you first hear it in passing, it does sound a bit cheesy, but when you actually think about it, it's not at all.
Okay, Danny, what's your? Do you think it sounds serious or a bit of a joke?
Without a lot of trailers and that, it's hard to tell which film is cheesy and which is serious. But alone, I'd say it sounds more of a serious film than anything else. So yeah, I'd say it's more of a serious film.
Will?
Yeah, I'd say definitely that trailer is needed to like get the film out there and show people what they are gonna see. So I definitely, yeah, think that's good.
Sam?
Yeah, I agree with everyone with the trailer idea, but just from hearing the title, it is, I personally would say, is a sort of like thriller title. So it's just a bit creepy and strange.
Okay, I'm glad about that because I had a feeling that the Whispers of Yesterday may made it sound like a bit of a joke rather than a serious thriller film, which I'm going for. So I'm happy that you guys all agree with me, thinking that it's a serious thriller film title. Okay, so the next question is: do you think it stands out from other thriller film titles out there in the market today? Danny, do you want to?
Well, a lot of titles are usually short and snappy, so it's hard to find a sort of longer title that really stands out more. But I think, yeah, compared to a lot of other thriller films, it does stand out quite a lot. But say you're competing on ones that are really short and snappy, films like Shutter that are just to the point, whereas your film has quite got a long title, but it does stand out more than a lot of others.
So are you saying that Whispers Yesterday maybe is too long of a title, or are you saying that it's an okay length?
It's an okay length, so yeah.
Okay. Dan, what do you think about it? Do you think it stands out from other...
I just think it's, no offence, just sort of another sort of thriller title. As in, it's sort of got the creepy aspect to it. It's not straight up like conveying what the whole thing's about, and the length is just as you expect. You get a lot of thriller films in these days. The Ghostwriter, Shutter Island. There are a lot of like 2-3 word thriller film titles.
Okay. Sam, anything to add?
I think I have to agree with Dan. That like it is one that you kind of like blends in a little bit, but then it has that creepy sort of, it's a whisper sort of thing. So it's, I don't know, it's a bit of both really. Personally, I would say.
Okay, Will, do you think it stands out at all? Are you agreeing with these two? Are you agreeing with Danny?
Yeah, I agree with Dan and Sam actually. It does stand out quite a lot. I think that it's a very descriptive title and conveys a lot of different messages.
Okay, so are we saying that the, going back to what you two said, saying that it kind of blends in a little bit more than too much maybe, or?
And I think it's a good thing that it kind of
Blends in, yeah.
Because then obviously you've got that whole group of people that like that sort of horror, so you've got that one thing with the thriller stuff.
Okay, and we've agreed that it's an okay length, we don't need to shorten it at all?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll hold on to those thoughts because we'll come back to those later on. Okay, so from the title, what do you think the storyline is about? So Will?
I think I personally have no idea what the story's about, to be honest. But I think that's kind of a good thing because people will like be intrigued to go see the film. Like, oh, I've never seen this film. I haven't even seen the trailer. So like, element of surprise will help. But obviously, the trailer will be a good idea to get out there as soon as possible because people obviously want to know, like Dan, what the story's about.
Okay. Sam, do you want to have a guess of what the storyline's about, or just?
I think it might be something to do with like a house sort of base, you know, like people in a house. Because it's quite like a whisper or things like that. So it's a bit like mysterious. Maybe there's like a voice or something. That's just from a guess, but obviously I have to agree with Will. You have to see more of like a trailer to be able to get a better idea.
Okay, thank you, Sam. Danny, what do you think the storyline would be about?
Well, I think it sounds more like a psychological thriller given the title, the whole of yesterday theme, but I think the whole theme of Whispers gives it a real horror sort of theme to it, so I think of it more of a psychological thriller, sort of with a horror element to it, but obviously given just the title I couldn't have a really good guess of the plot, but in terms of genres I'd say that's roughly where it's at.
I thought at first it gives us sort of the connotations of like remorse, so it makes you think of Memento, as in when Leo, the character, loses his wife, so that's what I'm sort of thinking of, something to do with a sort of revenge, remorse sort of story about losing a loved one.
Okay, all right then. So we're saying that the storyline, we've got quite a few different mixes of the storyline, so I'm going to have to re-look over this clip and to find out, pick elements from each of your ideas to maybe incorporate into the final film. Okay, so thank you for those ideas, guys. There were some really good different ideas there. One thing I was also quite curious about, and I'll get your guys' opinion on, is do you think it sounds too much like a drama film rather than a thriller film? Dan, I want to hear from you first.
No, not really. I think it sounds like a thriller film, personally.
Okay. Sam?
I have to agree with Dan. It just sounds like a thriller film to me.
Will?
Yeah, not a drama film at all. If anything, it could be another genre. Definitely not drama though, so I wouldn't worry about that.
Yeah, I'll say we all agree, definitely far from the drama sort of genre, definitely more of a thriller horror sort of area.
Oh, okay. The only reason I brought it up is because on the questionnaire someone said it sounds like a maybe more of an intake of a drama on a family. So I'm quite happy that all of we agree that it sounds more like a thriller film than a drama film.
Mm-hmm.
So another, obviously we were discussing things that I'm kind of worried about. Another thing I'm worried about the title is, does anyone feel like it sounds too similar to a film that already exists? Danny?
No, I don't think it does at all. I don't recall any films that have a similar title to that, but say it can be really compared to another film based on its trailers and the actual content in the film. I'd say just the title alone, it can probably compare to other titles, but it doesn't sound similar to anything, no.
Okay, Will?
I was just thinking if there's any titles like with yesterday, but I actually can't think of any. So, and definitely I can't recall any whispers or anything in the title. So.
Okay, Sam?
I've got to agree with Will. Like, I've not heard anything to be similar to your title that you've chosen to do.
I guess like the closest could be like Day After Tomorrow, but that's obviously a disaster film, so it's completely different than what you're going for, so I don't think there's a problem with it.
Okay, so we agree that the film title was actually quite unique in a way that it's quite different from everything out there that we've heard before.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well that's a positive. Okay, so thanks for all your input so far, guys. The final question I want is a very general one, and I want to know if you think we can make any improvements to the title in any way, shape or form. Dan?
At its current state of like production with your film, obviously in pre-production, I don't think there's any changes that need to be made. Maybe once you've made your film, you might feel the need to change these, like title of it. But at the moment, I think it's fine.
Okay, Danny?
I just agree with Dan and say at the moment Wish of Yesterday could be any film, so you haven't got to film it, so it could be anything, but you may find you film it based off the title bit, it doesn't fit quite as well with the title, so maybe you might need to adjust it in the future, maybe to fit the film, or if it just doesn't fit at all.
Okay, so what we're saying, is that once I've come to make my trailer and finished it, you may think that Whispers of Yesterday may not as fit as well as we're hoping to at this point in
At
time.
the
Yeah.
moment it's just a blank canvas.
Because a lot of famous films have changed their titles throughout, or like their subtitles in them. So it's not a problem if it needs to be done.
Okay.
In terms of the title, I don't think it needs changing at all. But have you started designing like the look of the title and stuff in like trailers and stuff?
Well,
like
we've had
that?
some ideas of maybe we had a Whispers of Yesterday with just some smoke. It's a very basic title at the moment, but we're I'm kind of looking into making more interesting. Me and Danny have had a look into making a more interesting title with Whispers of Yesterday
Right.
in it. Sam, have you got any improvements for the title or anything?
I would say no for now, depending on when obviously you see the trailer maybe, because like the guys said, you might get away through the trailer and then be like, oh maybe the title's not really suitable for it, and then you change it. But for now, I'd say it sounds good and most people would probably want to watch it.
Okay. Just as an extended question, does anyone have any ideas of maybe the art for the title? So as I said, I had some smoke with Whispers yesterday. Anyone got any kind of initial ideas to add to that, or?
I think maybe if you made the gradient of the actual text with the background a bit fainter, so it's a bit hard to see, because Whispers are sort of like quiet and low, so it gives me the idea of sort of, you know, ghostly feel, not all there sort of.
Yeah, I quite
definitely
like that.
sort of subtle, mysterious kind of bit. You want obviously darker sort of colours. It's a thriller film, and they're renowned for having like darker and gloomier sort of colours throughout the films. Definitely nothing bright into in your face. It's more subtle.
Okay.
At the moment, are you thinking of audio in the title as well? Like, is there any could be audio
Well-
when the title screen, like the title screen pops up?
Obviously I'll be making the trailer, and then the title will probably appear at the end of the trailer, I'm thinking. So there'll probably be some sort of audio with sound in there, or music rather than actual
I
dialogue.
think that's a key thing, probably music, definitely, and especially in thriller films. So you've got to nail that.
Okay, Sam, did you have any ideas of title, or you think at the moment it's just fine with all the smoke and the? Do you agree with Dan with the?
Yeah, with the text and stuff. Maybe for like a background thing, you could have maybe like an ear and like a mouth, like speaking into the ear. Maybe like the title thing, but
Oh,
I do like the idea with the smoke better.
Oh, I quite like that idea myself. Okay, well that's all the questions I have today. So thank you guys for joining me and sharing your ideas on my thriller film. And all your constructive criticism is very much appreciated. So thank you guys.
That's right.
Alright.